Welcome to this week's edition of Inside Warhawk Football on UWW-TV. I'm your host, AJ Kober, joined by Warhawk Football head coach Kevin Bullis. Coach, this past week was a WEAC week for you. How do you keep your players fresh during practice?
Well, and that's, coming into the what everybody else calls the bye week, we refer to it as the WIAC week. And it's really focusing on our 1%. And each one of our players has an individual 1%. It's a basic fundamental skill that we call their low-hanging piece of fruit that they need to improve at. And there always is that. There always is that low piece hanging fruit that they can concentrate on. So the emphasis really ends up even more so on that than on an opponent. And that's vital, though. I mean, to me, the lesson learned from that is that you got to keep that during the entire year. You can't let having an opponent on Saturday be a distraction to developing the individual players. And so, no, so now coming into this week, it's UW lacrosse week. We still got to keep the focus on us, though, AJ. We still got to keep the focus on us and what we got to improve at, because we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of things that we can improve at.
And looking forward to your next opponent, UW lacrosse, as you mentioned. How do you plan on scoring effectively on their defense, as they've allowed the least amount of points in the WEAC so far this season?
Yeah, and that's something that lacrosse has always had a great tradition of playing very good defense, and they really do. And so, I mean, the key piece is going to be, as we've talked about in the past, is this game on Saturday is going to come down to, as much as anything, controlling the ball. And that can mean turnovers, that can mean, anything that putting the ball on the ground, anything that's going to stall your drives. And that's going to be a key piece for us. I think the key element of that, which is always, because we're a team that loves to run the ball, we're a team that loves to throw the ball, you got to establish your run game. Got to establish a run game. And that's going to be the biggest challenge, because they do a very good job of defending the run. And there's no doubt that Coach Peshek and Coach Shields and Coach Boldis, those offensive staff guys, are all concentrating on being able to establish that run game, which will then open up opportunity in the throw game.
In the most recent poll by D3Football.com, Whitewater is ranked third in the country. How does that reflect on your hard work that you and your team have put in this past season?
Well, and there's no doubt. I mean, we don't look at polls, to be honest with you, because in the end, D3 football is not determining anything for us. They really aren't. But it also shows you the respect, and the respect for the tradition of our program, respect for our team this season. There's no doubt that we have an opportunity. To me, polls, if anything, give you is really perspective of what you've built over the years and what you're building this season. And so we are building something. And now, whether that's 3, 4, 1, 2, I don't know what that means, or 10. I have no idea. We, again, can't get distracted by those outside things that we can't control. And we can't control those polls. But what we can control is what we got to do this week to get ready for lacrosse. And that's going back to that 1% thing that I was talking about in your first question.
Thanks for your time, Coach, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, AJ.
This has been this week's edition of Inside Warhawk Football on UWW-TV.